And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. Says we're live and we do have an ad. So yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. Alright, hello everyone. Ace here. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm joined today with returning guest Alpharius.
Howdy.
Welcome to the stream, Alpharius. And today, well, we're back with some more High Republic adventures. Yay!
At least it can't get worse.
Zim the Despot says all quiet on the Western Front. Yokai says Ace really doesn't want to read this comic. Why do you say that? Have you perhaps had a look at this and found out something that would really make me not want to read this comic? Zim says, going off the shorts I've seen in these streams, I don't blame him. Yeah. Or says, my brother Zim, as a guest here, I will tell you, these comics kill people. Yes, I'm pretty sure the state of California just outlawed this, the use of this as cruel and unusual punishment. So.
And it also counts the carcinogen in California as well.
Yeah. Aura says, not characters, we want the characters to die. It kills us. Correct. Holy Thunder King says, last episode the art was good, but the writing was bad and used ancient Norse words, which I don't approve of. I feel like today will be worse. Well, today we have Daniel Jose Older as the writer, so you're probably
Daniel
correct.
Indeed. If you think it can't get worse, you haven't seen Daniel Jose Older.
Yep. Zim the Despot says, I kind of figured. So, let's go ahead and let the pain commence. The Jedi and the Warden, Part 2. Written by Daniel Jose Older. Illustrated by Tony Bruno. Color art by Michael Atea. Alright, let's actually see how many people had to read the plot of this comic before it became publicly available. Since we do that.
Oh my god.
So we have the writer, we have 2 letterers, so that's 3 people. We have an editor, so 4. An assistant editor, so 5. A senior editor, 6. An associate editor, 7. And then 3 members of the Lucasfilm Story Group, so 10 people. 10 people had to read the plot of this comic before it became publicly available. And judging from Alpharius and his reactions, I have a feeling we're about to see something horrific.
No, I'm just... Every time we read one of these and we start off by counting the number of people who had to see this shit, I know this is going to be terrible. I just know it. I'm just shocked at how there's this many people just basically not doing a job. It's unbelievable.
It is. On the other hand, it's still an upgrade because there's fewer of them. We were up to 12 or 13 at one point.
You're right. You're right.
Holy Thunder King says, I'm going to make a bold prediction. There will be 0 comments. We'll see. Daniel Aura says, good old Daniel, I wish you to fall into a volcano in Minecraft in a permadeath server. Yokai says 1 being less. Alright. Gives us a timeline. The Star Wars, the High Republic, the Battle of Eridu. Eridu is a battleground. The Resistance forces have made landfall in the enemy stronghold of Eridu City, but not without casualties. Jedi Knight Court was gravely injured. Now Jedi Knight Farzala Tarabal must lead his allies against the overwhelming Nihil army. Meanwhile, the vile Warden plots his victory from above. It is only a matter of time before he conquers the planet with his superior fighting force and his secret weapon. Or so he believes. This is not an enemy stronghold, though, is the thing. In fact, it's also simultaneously saying that he has to conquer the planet. If it's a stronghold...
Wait, yeah, this doesn't... Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Did they build a stronghold on the planet before they finished conquering it?
What actually happened was they advanced the storm wall over the planet as the Jedi were evacuating, and so now some people are trapped inside the storm wall here on Eridu and are getting laid siege to. It's the exact opposite of a Nihil storm wall.
Oh my god. Fantastic job, Lucasfilm Story Group. I mean...
Congratulations, Daniel Jose Older. You've done it again.
I wonder if this comic will be up. Oh, you know what? It'll be like his, the one High Republic comic where he was commentating on Israel. This will be about Ukraine. That's what this one's gonna be about.
Oh, God. Holy Thunder King says the comic hasn't even begun and the writers misunderstood the meaning of stronghold. Correct. Oro says, we all know court is going to be fine. This is not dangerous. This is not anything. We've seen how this plays out besides all the other lies that intro tells us. Zim the Despot donates $20 to... Well, let me read it. To say, on a more positive note, I'm work on a Star Wars story that's part of a rewrite series I'm doing. Obi-Wan beats Brook Chun again, and they managed to stop... Sorry, I keep getting ads. Managed to stop Grievous from becoming a cyborg by helping the Kalish stop the Yamri. Okay, interesting. And thank you for the donation of $20 there. That really, really helps the channel a lot, guys. So yeah, thank you very much, Zim.
Indeed, thank you, man.
Alright, so let's go ahead and continue.
Also, I still don't know why they named Marchion Rose the Storm Warden. Wouldn't it have been a better title to be like Despot or something?
Well, Marchion Ro is the Eye of the Storm. The Warden is a different character altogether.
Okay. I mixed them up. That's on me.
Yeah, he's called the Warden because he was in charge of a prison ship at one point.
Makes sense, yeah. That seems solid.
Also, you remember how in the last comic we looked at, the artwork was actually good?
And, Are you talking about the last issue in this series?
Not this series, the last one from last week, which was another High Republic comic. It's just that the actual artwork was good for once. Legitimately good.
Take a look at this and see.
But the reason why I bring that up is let's compare that to what we have on the very first page in terms of quality.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's just some of these artists who shouldn't have a job.
Art by Timmy, age 8.
Oh, God.
Alright, Univoice, Farzala, or...
That's the blue guy, right?
Yeah. Wait, let's see some more of the comments here before we continue. Holy Thunder King says, so he's in charge of a prison ship and is forever known as the Warden. Guess we need to forever refer to former McDonald's employees as cashier now.
It's unofficial titles, I mean...
Or says, it's not like someone cannot have 300 titles. Look at those Chinese people having 12 different venerable before whatever the heck the position they held.
Yeah. Alright. I can't explain it, but this feels like the end. Our forces are scattered. Court is gravely wounded. Lula and Zine are severing Tarkin. Then he'll keep coming no matter what we do. They're even winning in the skies.
Well, to be fair, you did design your starfighters, your Jedi starfighters in this like absolute trash, where they have to put the lightsaber into the console just to use the weapons.
Who thought of that? What? That sounds like something a toy company would make for an 8-year-old. Oh, did they really think they were going to get toys based on this series?
They thought this was going to be the biggest thing since the sequels. They thought this was going to be a massive moneymaker for Disney.
I bet you half the people who watch the sequel trilogy... No, about 7/10 of the people who watch the sequel trilogy don't even know this exists.
Yeah. And the people that do know it exists almost universally hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that don't will come on to the streams of the ones that do, and then try to claim, but you've never even read the comics. Which is at the point that I just casually drop the playlist of me reading all the comics.
Oh, God. Alright. Shall we continue?
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers of the Republic in Eriadu, charge! Of course I'll keep fighting, no matter what. I'll never stop. But in the deepest part of myself, when I tune in, all I see is destruction.
Crawling in my skin.
Oh, God.
Ura says, it feels like the end, if only. I want all of you to go back to the Force. Aren't I nice? Yokai says, no, I want them to get eaten by those nameless things and just get turned into dust and their force, and therefore their soul consumed.
Yes! That's the best outcome.
Erase them from existence.
You see, that's the reason they never talked about this in the movies. The Nameless, they wiped all this history from the timeline. So, that's... Oh, God.
These comics make me wish Chrono Legionnaires were from Red Alert 2 were real, and they would just erase all of the High Republic. Never existed.
You want to voice Shiyoda?
Alright, let's do that. But first, let's read some more of the comments. Holy Thunder King says, I won't sugarcoat that High Republic is bad, but because it's pretty much universally disliked, I wouldn't say I hate it as much as, say, Last Jedi, which people unironically defend. I've seen people try to defend High Republic. Not very well, but they try. They try to say, but you're not being fair to it. Yes, I am. They literally turn the Jedi into worse villains than the Sith by having them put planets into danger just to test their patterns. But did they really say that in the comic? Here are the panels where they said that in the comic, that this was all part of the Jedi plan.
Wasn't that the first issue?
Yes.
Of the entire series?
Yes. And they go, but that's just the person's thoughts. That okay, but...
Huh? Oh.
Yeah, I had people legitimately try to bullshit their way out of it.
No, you can't unwrite that.
Exactly.
You can't unwrite making your characters psychopaths. Let's continue.
Fubar Freak says, first time in here, and it sounds like Ace and friends have been tortured. Well, we're only getting started. The artwork is already trash, and there's a few things I could nitpick here, like, we're outnumbered and we're losing. Charge them! We'll do a bonsai charge. It'll be tons of fun. Zim the Despot is laughing. Yokai says, how can they be so delusional to think that a dumb comics that is an industry that is in the negative levels of popularity can sell merch? Well, because...
That was me speculating.
Oh. I'm going to say it's probably marketing teams. Because
Probably.
At this point, I'm kind of convinced that one of the biggest scourges in the entertainment industry is the marketing teams. They've been behind a lot of the stupid shit that's happened. In video games, for example, they've been behind a lot of the stupid shit that's decisions that's been in there for decades at this point.
True.
We need to appeal to a wider audience and make the game more accessible.
They put the bean counters in charge of everything and the whole industry suffering.
Mm-hmm. Let's not make a game for anyone per se, but let's make a game for everyone, which by everyone we mean not for anyone really.
No, you see these statistics here. They tell us that this is popular with this group and this is popular with this group. So clearly we can just mash them together in a gelatinous blob.
Mm. Yeah. Aura says, we are fucked. Communism did get to space. If the High Republic gets anything to go about, when the whole is fucked, you can't unfuck it. Holy Thunder King says, the more people defend something terrible, the more I hate it. Oh, it's not that it's bad, it's just mid, they say. And then all I can say is, no, it sucks and should be considered terrorism. Correct! Alright. Beneath Briefrang City. Old! Keep holding! That's it? Cort, what do you think you're doing? I knew you want to help, Cort, but you're not up to this. You must rest. Sit the next round out, please.
This is bigger than me. If we don't get this lava reactor core stabilized, a single hit could set it off and destroy both Briefrang and Eriadu City. Now, Zint, whether or not I would tell you the same is not the point. The point is I can still help, so I will. Did I voice the blonde guy too, or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Master Yaddle, that last push wasn't enough for us to get into the isolated aqua tanks into the mainframe. In that small opening, there's a mini-reactor that balances the surface bifurcator. As long as that remains lopsided, we can't get this done.
The entire planet depends on our success. We'll try again shortly. Since our comms don't work this far down, would you be a dear and let our people upstairs know we may need some more Jedi, if they can be spared?
So they're going to try a full-on charge again.
While they're running out of people to hold this up, which they desperately need. And also, once again, holy shit, the artwork.
That is god-awful. Look at that crimson chin she's got. The cleft chin. We'll walk with them in a straight line for the 15th time in a row. They'll never expect it this time.
Later, Briefrang City, street level. I'll let Severon know. She won't be happy.
Neither will Farzala. Didn't sound like he has any extra Jedi laying around.
Anything I can help with?
Actually, yes, Jakoby. If anyone you don't know comes near, stab them. And if anyone you do know comes near, stab them too.
Well, this would make the comic more interesting, at least.
Right?
Whoa! 5J3 has never given me anything before. Stop it, Jakoby. Don't get sentimental now. Oh, you know what you have to do. Yes, he has to stab everyone. He's going to
Kill
become
them
the
all,
Doom
Jakoby.
Slayer.
Kill them all.
Rip and tear until it is done. Alright.
You want to voice the
Yeah,
bat guy too? Okay.
I'll voice the warden. Take out that fighter heading for Sessuina Hull. We need more ships in the air. Now!
Warden, codename in the circles on the hollow with an urgent message.
I think that's also the warden.
We have a spy? Who? Oh, no, wait.
Oh, that was the woman.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why'd they draw the text bubble like that?
Because they're idiots.
Oh my fuck. I guess I'll voice the woman too.
Okay.
We have a spy? Who?
Never mind, who. Take the bridge while I handle this.
What?
And you! No need to announce to the world. That's something, it's a code name like that.
Hmm. Now, who's that on the hologram?
Jakoby Snell, I guess.
Okay.
So that is my character. It's no use, Warden. They are keeping a tight lid on whatever it is. It must be important, though. I've never seen anything. I've never seen them like this. Well, you better figure it out soon, Jakoby Snell. Otherwise, it's an airlock walk for Grandpa Snell.
Oh, this two-bit maniac a carkin thing, Jakoby. I've lived a good life. Let me go out with a smile.
Why does the grandpa look younger than the grandson?
Who knows? Also, I think that's supposed to be a woman.
Oh, you're right. It is a woman. My mistake.
All good. Alright.
The way I see it, we have two problems, Sav. Those bogarths on the ground.
Which we have never really seen before too much of any note in previous issues about the kind of stuff that Nihil was bringing. It was mostly things like tanks. But
Hey, I guess they just wanted to bring the conveniently AT-AT shaped animals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Also, what the hell are those heavy guns they're using? They're not attached to anything! They're just holding them! With their hands! They're just walking on the... Who designed this? Was this made by an AI? This might have been made by an AI!
I think the AI would have been more consistent on...
And why do one of the back scales have some kind of spine pattern on them when the rest don't?
I don't know.
God. This is just simple. What the fuck? I'll continue, sorry. And there's Nihil fighters in the skies, too. So...
Holy shit, this artwork on the bottom panel. Look at his face. Look at the faces.
What faces? All I see are black and green blobs.
I'm reminded of that one Scream painting.
You're right.
That's what it's reminding me of. Which is an appropriate reaction when everything around you looks like your typical High Republic comic, I suppose.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
Yokai says, no AI knows how to attach weapon platforms to vehicles. Or it says, the AI feels offended Alpharius. I have seen AI doing much better than this. It would also be better drawn, too. The line work would be better if this was AI.
You are right.
Holy Thunder King says, nah, don't worry, Ace. The giant bug-looking things have psychic powers to hold the guns. Or says, why does the grandpa look younger? Because the High Republic believes that bit about age is just a number. Ace. Oh, Ace, I feel dirty. Yes, I do! Thank you!
Oh my god, the next panel is even dumber.
Yes, I can already tell it is going to be dumber.
Oh my god.
Why don't we solve one?
With the other. Already on it.
Pirates
God.
with me!
They're going to try and Legolas a Mumakil. That's just great. Excuse me, fellas.
Jedi scum!
Aim!
Aye! Careful! Don't hurt that pretty cannon!
Being careful. Oh, so they are attached! They just forgot to draw them, the leather panel!
Drawing is hard when you're a High Republic writer. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Shum, shum. I'll drive you.
Way ahead of you! Absolutely not, Zint. Do not take that off.
What is it, Court? Sorry, let me try that again. What is it, Court?
As Aloxians, we need the Vondoon skull helmets to help regulate our emotions until we've fully matured. They dampen our strength. Some, but keep us balanced. Zint thinks that without it, she can move the isolator aqua tanks. Zint, no!
Well, she's there. She's in there now. We must make an attempt. Jedi, begin immediately. Ah, yes, the child that is a youngling just jumped in there. So we should clearly go with the plan of the youngling. A youngling that is now emotionally compromised, even by youngling standards.
Oh, boy.
What a brilliant plan!
The children yearn for the factories. Clearly that's what this means. That's Daniel Jose Older's message for this comic, kids. He wants us to reinstate child labor.
Only little kids can climb up the chimney and sweep it out from the inside.
Basically what this is! Oh, God.
We need you to untangle the textile mills.
Wait! Surely they had to have had droids for this sort of thing, and they weren't lying around in the plant where this was?
Well, maybe they relied on child labor.
Good point. Oh. Alright.
Yokai says why she looks like an old man and a little boy at the same time. I don't want to answer that. Laughing Heavily says, I've just arrived. Are you winning, son? Well, the good news is we're
having fun.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's a longer issue. No! It's
Wait,
over
what?
40 pages. No, it's 36 pages, but still, fuck that.
Oh!
I was hoping we were halfway done. No.
Why, Lord? Why? Okay. Keep reading comments. Oh, God.
Only Thunder King says, we literally all of us are losing our sanity. Correct. Or says, Cavalier, we are all losing. Hurtchain says, Yo Ace, WTS, first thing I hear when I get here is child labor. Is this Watto's garage? I
Oh,
somehow
God.
think that Watto would probably design a slightly safer garage than this.
Yeah, this kind of system, it really looks like it's a one-and-done use of a child. Not very efficient. You gotta keep buying more every time you throw one in there and turn it on. It's not sustainable.
Matrix don't work on me. Only money. Child slave costs money. Oh, shit. Aura says, good old child labor. After Cavalier says, it's over 9,000 pages. Yo guy says, Ace, why you torture your friends like that? We have to get through this, see how it ends, just to fully demonstrate absolute. Because, like I said, the plan is, once I'm done with all of the High Republic comics. Oh, and by the way, they just released another issue for another brand new High Republic series, because of course they did.
Oh, wow.
And they also have another High Republic manga.
Weren't those good?
Yeah, but this one, from what I understand, they got rid of the Japanese writer, if the credits are anything to go by, I think, and it's only Daniel Jose Older writing it.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what kind of office politics that douchebag is playing, but what the hell? He has some major dirt on some major people if he's kept a job writing like this for this long.
Yes.
Alright. Shall we continue?
Is that blue guy in the top right corner, just by droids? Yeah.
Oh no, that's not a guy, that's a child.
Yeah. Alpha Cavalier says, I'm sure Watto adhered to child labor laws better than the High Republic. Yeah, well, if the Hutts if the Hutts disapproved of you, if you were abusing child labor laws to the point that the Hutts would be fucking fed up with you, you've done something horrifically wrong.
You're doing some Unit 731 shit.
But also, unironically, considering the stuff that we've seen the Jedi do in the High Republic,
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yes, Watto probably does obey child labor laws better.
The Jedi Order just routinely send young ones for maintenance in the Jedi Temple underground in the fucking ancient Sith temple it was built on.
They sent the Padawan. They sent a single Padawan to deal with a discount Tyranid hive fleet. Of course Watto follows child labor laws better. Yokai says Daniel Jose Older is a Nepo hire. Oh, yes.
Alright, let's, do you think we should continue, or?
Aura says, Ace, if this hurts, then imagine the poor bastards that went ahead and bought one of these compilations of the High Republic. Can you imagine hundreds of pages in one go?
I don't wanna.
I can. It's called the mangas. But at least the first two issues of the mangas were alright. But, yeah, we're probably going to have to see more of that, too. Lava Cavalier says, get a time machine, go back to 1977 and show High Republic George Lucas. Don't do that. Just get a time machine.
It'll create the Star Wars Red Alert timeline.
Yes. Build a time machine. We'll make Daniel Jose Older into the Hitler of the High Republic timeline and just erase him from history altogether.
And somehow makes it worse.
You're probably right. That's the problem. Okay, so Hurtchain says the Hutts are more labor conscious than the High Republic. Correct. Holy Thunder King says Watto is just a businessman doing business. Yes.
Alright. Shall we
Let's-
continue?
Yeah, let the pain continue.
It worked! Get out of there! Get out of there, kid!
It worked that quickly and easily. Holy shit. Are you kidding me?
Why didn't Yoda just jump in there? She's small enough to fit too.
And a Jedi Master.
Was she just letting the Padawan throw herself in there just so she didn't put her ass on the line?
Not a Padawan,
Oh my-
a youngling. But yeah, that is still some pretty horrifically evil shit.
My god, all the Jedi Masters are also Nepo babies. Well, after the Starlight Beacon situation, I can understand how that works now.
Yokai says, take a time machine and show the... I assume that's backwards, and show the sequel trilogy to George Lucas after he finished the prequels.
The helmet! No!
Kurt!
Well, the good news is the stabilization worked. The equalizer is in place.
And the bad?
In order to lock the whole thing in, we are going to need some more sets of hands. Two more starships down. If we can keep their fleet busy here in Eriadu City, they'll stay clear of Brief Fang, and we might just make it out through this whole situation, the whole region turning to ash.
Farzala, we have a problem.
Eviscerators? Weren't those things outlawed a century ago?
One, these are space pirates. What the fuck do they care about your laws? Two, this is not the Republic space because the Nahil took it over. Or at least are laying siege to it behind the storm wall.
And three, those ship designs are fucking stupid.
Correct. And four, when the fuck did the High Republic outlaw this shit? All the
This
various
doesn't-
horrific things that they've allowed up to this point. And this is somehow beyond the pale for them? What the fuck are these things going to do?
Yeah, what the hell are these ships even made for? These don't look like they have a reasonable purpose to have been mass-produced. These look like special scrap jobs made by pirates or something. How would you be able to outlaw that in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just continue.
Yes,
You
and
wanna-
Yeah, I'll voice this.
yes, and our cannons won't do much to them. So I guess we better... Wait, is that a drill ship? Wait, is that drill ship getting drilled by another drill ship?
I feel like there's a gay joke in here somewhere.
Ay, ay, ay.
Who's in there?
Yeah.
Master Sinoob.
So, this character just appeared out of the ether and had one of these on standby.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. That was eventful. Let's get the Eriadu free, huh?
Also, these powerful ships that they just presented as a war-winning piece of equipment that are so powerful that they were outlawed by the High Republic, instantly dealt with in a single page. Build up
They're
and
just
pay off.
that good. They're just so good one can take out all of the others, you know? They're just that good.
Hurt Chain says, what the fuck? Why is the librarian here? Good question. Holy Thunder King says, I am amazed at how much brain damage this issue is causing. Yeah, It is still, sadly, nowhere near close to the worst I've seen from High Republic. Still, there's some pretty stupid stuff in here, though. Ordo says, Alpharius, are you forgetting that cruiser that crashed after bonking a probe droid? Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, that was... Yeah, but that was a night...
Oh, sorry, continue.
That was a Nihil-built spaceship piloted by actual amateurs. And even then, it was still bullshit. But these are supposed to be war-winning technology that was outlawed by the Republic, so... You know.
Oh, was that the one where they crashed into a building and everyone survived?
Nope, that was... No, the one he sought out is last week's issue.
Shall we continue?
Yes. I see. I had no idea. Give me a quick moment, and I'll be right down to lend a hand.
What do you mean, Drill Leader Alpha has already been neutralized?
Apparently, one of the original Spiral class Eviscerator starships cleaved right through it. The other two from our preliminary launch are still out there, but we should release the rest of the fleet immediately.
Wait, are they telling us that this artwork was so poorly drawn that this was not them crashing into multiple ships, but a single one?
I'm not questioning it. I guess so. That's just what happened.
Oh, God.
Gordon, Inner Circles has another message for you. Says it's urgent.
I don't have time for his games right now. I need the rest of my drill ships in the air yesterday.
I'll handle it personally, Warden. I'm heading back to the base, and I'll ensure the fleet is up in minutes.
Why didn't you do that before?
I guess she just really wanted to let her boss know. Stellar chain of command right here. This puts most fast food restaurants to shame.
Holy shit.
The warden's busy right now, Snell. I'm gonna have to call back another time.
Wait, you don't understand? Okay, I'll voice her now, I guess.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was voicing her. My bad.
Oh, well, I don't think she had any lines before.
Alright. You can voice her then.
That's what you get. We're all gonna die. Least you could have done was die well. Instead, you're going out like a peduncle.
What the fuck is this artwork on this panel?
Hold on one goddamn second. Is that meant to be Sanoob? Hold on, I'm going back to that last. He changed color. Or was there just a blue light in the ship? What?
I think there was a blue light in the ship.
Okay. Okay.
But we have had characters change color before.
And races. Good old Jedi Master Alpharius did, that's for sure.
Elzar Man represents all men. He is the man of 1,000 races. He's like that one spirit from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He will steal your race.
I've been undercover again, of course. What have you been doing all this time, my dear Padawan? Wait, you've been undercover in your full Jedi regalia?
Oh, God damn it. Of course. Ordo says, the High Republic, we don't see color. Or it's munificent. I always forget Rich. Hurricane says, favorite starship for me would have been like the B-Wing. Love the asymmetrical design, and favorite carrier is a Maleficent class separatist cruiser. Love the rounded armor piece. Okay. Holy Thunder King says, and the fact is, despite how much this hurts my brain, supposedly doesn't top the worst one so far. Makes me wonder if there is a worse chapter out there. Yes.
There are worse, but this is getting up there real fucking fast.
Yeah. Krieg says, to hurt Chain, good picks. Dreadnought class heavy cruiser, cloak-shaped starfighter for me. Alright.
Let's keep going.
Yep.
Farsara, please ignore my old master, who knows very well that I haven't been a Padawan for over a
Watch out!
This dude managed to crash into them, and not one of them saw it.
He's just that good of a driver.
Thumb.
Why the hell are they using axes? Not even axe blaster rifles, just fucking axes.
Maybe so when the lightsaber tries to block it, it melts and goes to hit the Jedi? I don't know.
Now, Jakoby, you've contacted me several times to demand I speak with you. You had better have something good.
I do, Warden. I do.
Don't tell him anything, you unfunctional farce bucket! I strongly recommend you cease that infernal blathering, Granny. Don't you see? I made peace with dying years ago, and you're already destroying my home. There's nothing you can threaten me with. Very well. We'll do it this way. Now, Jakoby, speak.
Be gentle with her. She's over 200 years old. But yes, I have the information you wanted.
Just when things felt like they were easing up, it all fell apart again. Only one hope keeps me going now. But it seems farther away. More impossible with each passing moment. Huh? And the vision I've been seeing all along keeps getting closer and closer. Who's there?
To be continued. So he's hallucinating.
Please, God, let him get jumped and killed by a nameless. Please, please,
okay,
please.
thank God I misread 26
Wait,
is 36. So it is over. Thank God.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you. What a fucking nightmare.
And also the fact that he's just having visions in the middle of the battle.
That's definitely not.
Pretty sure you need to concentrate for those.
Nah, he was just that good.
Forgorn Wolf as the one comment on this entire comic and says, art finally matched the story. Awful. And there's 2 people that disliked it. Presumably Daniel Jose Older and whoever he's sucking off at Disney to get his job.
Ah.
Laughing Cavalier says, the evil is defeated. Krieg says, Z95 and a Dreadnought Heavy Cruiser. Zim, my lad, you have great taste. Okay, so Zim says, I like the Dreadnought Heavy Cruiser the most. It's old, but it just works, but not cringe and gay like Todd Howard.
Yeah.
Krieg says, hello, Ace and Company. What's your favorite starship and starfighter in Star Wars? Also, how about 70 more vids to go until I'm caught up with y'all? Okay. Favorite starfighter. There's some good ones in there. Are we talking lore perspective, or are we talking lore included, or are we talking just in terms of aesthetics?
How about you answer both? I know what my pick is already because I've always been a CIS fan growing up. So my favorite starfighter would probably be the Vulture droid. It's a pretty dang good starfighter. And what was the other one? Starship. What quantifies the starship? Just anything in space?
Starships would be cruisers and frigates and the other things like that.
Probably munificent frigates. Then those are good ones.
I haven't really put too much thought into the ship area, but the starfighter. If we're going to talk lore, I will say this. They might not be that common, and the movie that they're associated with might not be the best Star Wars film by far. But, for what it's worth, the Naboo starfighter, if you actually looked at it from a lore perspective, was a very, very high-end fighter. As in, it was outcompeting things like the X-Wing. When the X-Wing came into the scene, you know...
Oh, wow, really?
30 years later, it was a faster starfighter. It was a very, very high-end and expensive one, but from the lore perspective, well, the Naboo security forces weren't that many, so they made sure that what they had, what their pilots and whatnot got, was the best that they could get. So they ended up making some really, really high-end starfighters as a result.
So Anakin was basically overprepared from the get-go to be a fantastic starfighter. Holy crap.
Yeah, they... if I remember correctly, they were faster. They could carry more proton torpedoes, I think, than the X-Wing. Although I'll have to double check and see if that is lore accurate. I know in the games they could carry up to 10 proton torpedoes compared to the 6 that a X-Wing would have. But at least in Rogue Squadron. But that's I'd have to double check that. But yeah, they were They were a genuinely good starfighter. Very maneuverable, very fast. Expensive. They were expensive, but then again, on a planet that had a relatively small population to pull from, that was nevertheless rather wealthy, it makes sense that they would make them be rather expensive. If there's the one thing that I don't know about for sure about them, which it would seem to make a lot of sense if they did actually have this as a feature. It'd be really weird if they didn't. So, okay, so a little bit of an explanation. So, for the Rebel pilots, for example, in the Galactic Civil War, the reason why they could get away with having open-faced helmets for the Rebel pilots is that they had special shielding, basically, that they could activate on the suits, which meant they could actually safely eject from the starfighter in space and still be alive because they had their own life support system built into the suit that way.
Interesting.
It actually gave them a couple of advantages over the Empire because the Imperial suits, yes, they're all completely pressurized, but the starfighters that the Empire was using, the TIE fighters, don't have a life support system. So your backup, so you don't have a backup life support system, so whatever time you spend out in space, if you have to eject, well, that's time that's taken off for you to get rescued. Now, from a doctrinal standpoint, that's not that big of an issue because the TIE fighters never were supposed to venture far from the Star Destroyers. But it's still a disadvantage. It's one that like I said, the Rebellion did not have, because the Rebellion could use their starfighters' life support system while they're just flying around, and if things got really dire, they could then, if necessary, turn on the life support system on the suit. I don't know if what I'm getting at though is I don't know if the Naboo security has ever been confirmed to have special suits as well, although you would think they would if they're spending all that money on the starfighters and are using a doctrine that prefers extremely well-trained pilots using the best equipment that money can buy. but I digress. Zim says, I mean, that's not uncommon. I've heard F4 Phantoms are faster than F-35, so rolls are probably different from each other. Well, not really. I mean, okay, so a little bit, but the Naboo Starfighter is mostly tasked with patrolling and escort duties, because it is a fighter meant to protect the Naboo royal family, which means it protects the royal cruiser on escort duties, and it also patrols the nearby area for pirates and things like that. So it's still going to have to fight other starfighters in a fair fight in similar conditions to the X-Wing. The one thing that the X-Wing is, by contrast, it is known for being used as a hit-and-run fighter. By that I mean the rebellion would send them far out from their ships and then engage enemy targets from far away before returning. The Naboo Starfighter can do that a little bit, but it is kind of tied to the planet of Naboo, because in the lore they have to use special charging docks and whatnot to actually charge the things. I think that they actually charge the things by the tail or something like that. So that little pointy tail at the end is where they charge the things.
Interesting.
Holy Thunder King says, yeah, Star Wars lore too much of a normie to understand. That's alright. Creek says, I'm pretty sure one of those comics, the shield and life support, is actually built into the X-Wing's ejection seat. I don't know about it being built into the ejection seat. I'm pretty sure the actual life support is on the suit, at least to some degree. Partially because it was already shown in the X-Wing series that the pilot wasn't really wearing the ejection seat when he gets picked up by shuttles, trying to rescue pilots and whatnot. So, but yeah, the Naboo Starfighter, for what it's worth, is a pretty interesting design. There's a couple of other quirks to it as well that do make it stand out for some weird features. So, take for example the R2 units. You might have noticed in the film that the R2 unit, when it gets sucked up, the Starfighter apparently actually partially disassembles the R2 unit and stretches it to fit the fuselage, the height of the fuselage. Which is another weird feature that these things have on them, apparently. But yeah, that's also established in the lore. But I'd say it's a pretty neat little starfighter for what it's worth. And depending on what you're, and depending on what you do and don't consider to be canon in the EU lore, well, you also have things like the Galactic Battleground series where they made improvements to the Naboo Starfighter, and there's much more powerful later versions as well and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead. I think we're at a good point. Like I said,
End up.
Huh? Yeah.
Alright.
Hey, since I answered, would you like to give your answer on favorite Starfighter? Or
Yeah, just the Vulture droid. I'll
right.
stick with that one.
Oh yeah,
that's a good
fair
one.
enough, fair enough. All right, so yeah, I think we are at a good stopping point to go ahead and call it. So yeah, this has been Ace.
I'm Alpharius.
Pleased to have you on.
Happy to be here.
And as part of the goal for the channel, I did mention that everyone that donated gets mentioned at the end, so I shall do that. So Zim the Despot, thank you once again for donating $20. Thank you very much. Like I said, that helps a lot with the channel, and I think we're at a good stopping point. So yeah, this has been Ace. Hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out.
Thanks,